putting it out there. It is the audience, the voters, remember them, the mugs? It is them that decides what their reaction is.
It isn't. It isn't just the voters. I can't bear that strangeism that says we're just bystanders, we just watch what's happening and we report it. Journalists influence what's happening. Journalists influence public opinion. Journalists get lynch mobs going for people. And there's been a lynch mob for David Laws, and we've lost a really good man.
Absolutely not. There's a lynch mob. The reality is there has been antagonism towards David Laws since he came up with it's because I'm gay I did all this. If he had never said that and said, you know, you're right, I find it impossible to do this particular job, cutting of other people's jobs, while I'm accused of fiddling my expenses, I'm going, he would be back in the cabinet. He cannot come back into a Conservative Lib coalition cabinet for years now.
But Cameron, I'm surprised that you just don't think that is a credible explanation of what happened. I don't know David Laws very well, but I think it's very possible that what you dismissed is actually the reason why this happened.
Well, if I remember rightly, Tom Newton-Dunn, the political editor of The Sun, wrote a piece on Saturday in which he said that, in fact, vaguely supporting your view, actually, in fact, in which he admitted, he said everybody in the comments knew David Laws was gay. Is that true?
Can I just say, I mean, I have a lot of sympathy, genuinely, for Matthew Parris's point of view. But the bottom line for me is this. Matthew tried to advance the argument was this cohabiting, was it not cohabiting, is sex too once a week cohabiting or not? If David Laws was a benefit claimant in Hackney and there wasn't even a hint of cohabitation, he would have had his benefit pulled and might have ended up in jail. And that, for me, is the clinching argument. I know what you're saying, but nonetheless, we as and we've been all through this with the expenses in this land for over a year. We as MPs cannot apply rules to other people, particularly the poorest people, which don't apply in principle to ourselves.
My worry for this is far greater. This nation has never been so far in debt. How many more stories of the media got lined up to keep hitting this government? They attacked the last government. How many more people will be hitting this government? We need this country to pull together.
Well, it would be very, very helpful if most of our legislators hadn't got their hands in our wallets. That's what would be helpful. So I don't take your point at all, sir.
What do you mean, haven't got
well, it would seem the reason this journalism keeps on going, the expenses thing, is because for some inexplicable reason the MPs can't fill in their expenses form in an honest manner. Why don't they just do that? The story there's no story there.
Dan Abbott? Is he right?
No, because now we have a completely different system. It's completely transparent.
Right.
It's all been tightened up. These are all old stories, Cameron.
Right.
They're bad stories. I mean, I agree with you, they're bad stories, but they're old stories.
Right.
And I do think at some point we have to start looking at the future of our country. We really do.
Okay. Last one. Yeah.
All over Britain, members of Parliament are living with their wives, husband or partners in accommodation which is paid for by the taxpayer and doing so entirely within the rules. David Laws could have done so and should have done so, but he wasn't trying to cheat, he was just trying to keep something secret, and I have a lot of sympathy for him.
Let's go on to another question. By the way, if you're into tweeting, you can